So they have a lot of synergy in that as well.
So the picks and bans coming through here, ladies and gentlemen. We can see Elise and Shen taken away straight away by Ninjas in Pyjamas. Nunu and Zed taken away by Meet Your Makers. We'll see, of course, how this works out. Shen taken away from Mikado. We've seen that so many times in the jungle, and of course, Kubon has been playing so much Elise in that top lane.
That is the key one. He has been able to play Elise every single game when it's been let slip through, and he does he's just so strong at it. We remember seeing them versus Evil Geniuses where he 1v2'd 3 times and actually came out ahead every single time, and you cannot let him have that comfort champion, so you're going to force him into a role he's not necessarily comfortable with, and that might be the downfall of Meet Your Makers.
It does, of course, mean Twisted Fate continues to be banned. Only was allowed through once, I believe.
I think it's 3 times, but he has 2 wins, 1 loss.
He has a loss?
Yeah.
Oh, it was last week. Last week was the only time he snuck through. Peke dominated with it, of course. So, first pick straight away. Draven locked in instantly. Freeze wanted that one. So, we're already seeing effectively a very different Ninjas in Pyjamas here.
Yeah, this is actually really scary, because if you guys remember Edward, back on Reddit a long time ago, he said Freeze is the best AD carry in Europe. And if Edward says that, it probably has some weight to it. So, on a champion like Draven, who's so strong early on, he's really hard to 1v1 against, or even 2v2, obviously, just with the pure damage he can output. I expect that to be a really hard lane for Meet Your Makers to win.
Well, of course, we're waiting for Meet Your Makers to make their picks. Will we see the Zyra coming out this time? Of course, Libic has had a couple of champions banned away from him. Thresh being the main one, but actually Nunu, one of the bans himself, that used to be his most famous champion, did also used to play lots of Blitzcrank, but I don't think we're going to see that. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a Zyra, and along with some sort of AD carry for Makler.
Yeah, I think that Nunu's definitely targeted over towards Maluno, because we saw Arne use him in that one game in week 1, did such a phenomenal job on it, to be honest. He's a very strong counter juggler, not to mention the buffs that he received in 3.7. But Varus and Nihilus being sat on. So Makata, that's like his champion he goes back to. If he doesn't get Shen, goes to Nihilus. He likes the very tanky jungler, likes to be able to interact very early on. And then the Varus is just such a strong champion. Makler, he's very mechanically perfect as an AD carry. He doesn't miss his ultimates if he uses one. So that's gonna be very strong for Meet Your Makers.
And it seems the Ninja Pyjamas have got pretty much a theory worked out here. They've getting the champions they wanted. They instantly put in Jarvan and Kennen there. They haven't locked them in just yet, but it does seem, I do recall Maluna playing a lot of Jarvan before.
Yes.
Of course, he plays a lot of Mamumu as well. In that top lane, is this going to be Bjergsen in top lane? Not going to be Bjergsen, obviously, in the top lane. Is it going to be Extinct in the top lane with Kennen? He's an AP champion,
exactly.
AP player.
That's the thing. You don't know where it's going to go exactly. We've seen it Bjergsen middle. We've seen Kennen top lane. And that can really throw off Meet Your Makers. It's one of those champions that you don't know exactly where it's going to go, so you can't 100% counter it. So we'll see how that's going to work out. But the Nami that does get locked in, very strong combo with Draven. You gives him the speed buff, which he automatically has with one of his abilities. And then you give him that ability to slow down someone, so he's going to be able to chase you even better. That's a really hard duo to go up against. But you know, I have to say, the Kennen, 22% win rate right now in European LCS. Nami, 33%. I mentioned last week I wasn't too convinced. The numbers kind of prove that, but we'll see how well Diffuser's actually going to play it.
Ooh, Fiddlestick support maybe being pulled out by Libic here. We did see Charu on Syndra before. Looks like he's maybe thinking of selecting it. It was against Pharrell in order, if you remember rightly, on Ariana. Didn't work out too well in that fight. Actually, it was Ari. I tell a lie. Pharrell was on Ari because he used to get in. It was that skill shot. If he didn't land it in the perfect timing, flicking between Vlad and Syndra, not quite sure which way he's going to go with it. Either way, he's definitely going to have teleport, and it seems like he's going to have flash, which tells me it's not going to be Vlad, it's going to be Syndra.
Looking at Kubon on the screen right now, I mean, he was like shaking his head like, I'm not too comfortable with the lineup we have right now, and that's not really a good sign when you're top laner.
Switches to Ari, of course. A champion that's been banned against him so many times.
Yeah, I was going to say, to Syndra, if you're not going to run Ignite, it's kind of a little bit useless, because you're supposed to be able to burst them down with your entire combo. But Ari, which we seen him do actually before over at the blue buff, I can't remember the team exactly. We teleported and picked up like 2 or 3 kills right there. Great job. Let's see if we're able to pull off again. And then the support Fiddlesticks. Jerry, I believe, was the first one to actually... No, Darker was the first one to run that on Gambit, and then Jerry used it a little bit later on in the day. But it's a very strong support. It's really hard to go up against that with his Sphere.
Well, we'll see how it goes. I mean, are they even going to go up against each other? I mean, this is 3.8, so chances are the lanes could be stacked normally this time, like standard meta, or will they be looking to maybe go mid lane, top lane, some other position?
It's definitely going to be a swap, because against a Draven and a Nami, it's very hard. Like, it puts out so much damage, and they don't have sustain that NiP will have. So, we actually do see the Diana being locked in here. So they have a very strong AoE composition right now, where they can pull you in, keep you in the Jarvan Cataclysm, keep you in the Kennen Ultimate, knock you up the Nami wave. That is a very, very strong team.
Well, we'll see what Meet Your Makers do. Last choice, of course, to respond will be in the top lane. They know they're pretty much against Kennen. How will Kubon counter it? What is he thinking?
It's got to be a tank.
You think it's going to be a tank, something to just basically bully them out? But they have got Nautilus in there already.
That's the thing. He's a lone tank. You need someone else that's kind of beefy to get in there. It depends how far Libik gets ahead. Maybe you can get like a Zhonya's built up or something like that. But Makati, he won't be able to sustain against the damage because NiP is more of a mid-game team at this point where they want to dominate you right there, and Nautilus won't be tanky enough then. So Zach, actually not a bad pickup there.
Yeah, it would make sense. We haven't seen Kuban on Zach yet, I don't believe. I'm trying to think back. Of course, the busy period that we had in our Euro trip across, a Euro trip, we actually went to Moscow as well, so that we can't really count Russia as part of Europe, although we do in the LCS.
To Americans it does. At least to me.
That's a pretty big chunk of Asia right there as well.
True.
So looking like it will be Libik locked in. So what are we seeing? We're seeing big AE comp coming out from Ninjas in Pyjamas, and effectively a defensive comp from Meet Your Makers.
So the Fiddlesticks is kind of, I think about it, it doesn't really fit 100% their composition too well. You're going to obviously have Zach to knock them up so you can have the ability to sit around them with your ultimate, but then the Ahri kind of throws it off as well as the Nautilus. So it looks like Meet Your Makers, they want to win early on. I mean, I'm going to stick with that because that's been their game plan every single time. And it's been successful whether or not they're able to get that first turret down for themselves. So it looks like they want to try to beat them early on, but it's going to be tough. It really will.
Well, we've seen a lot of early tower pushes from Meet Your Makers. We'll see whether that develops. Of course, this is effectively, as you mentioned, you can see it right there on your screens, the new Ninjas in Pyjamas setup. You can see Extinct closest to the screen, Maluno next to him, Bjergsen in the mid lane, Freeze just off to the side alongside Deficio. This new lineup is going to be really interesting to see how these guys do. And that man in the middle. There's a lot of pressure on these shoulders, Bjergsen. He did manage to actually injure his ankle while we were in Moscow. Fell over the stairs when he thought his team were leaving him behind. He didn't want to get left in Moscow, so he was like, I'm going to get away. Didn't just fell in a heap. Heaton ended up carrying him for the rest of the event, which was very funny to see giant Heaton with this tiny little Bjergsen on his back. It's like a little Nunu and Willem.
I never thought about that way, but that's actually very true. And I actually talked to Deficio in Moscow about this, and he mentioned that Bjergsen's always had a lot of pressure on his shoulders in terms of coming up big for his team, making the plays happen. But he says with the addition of Extinct and the addition of Freeze, he feels like Bjergsen will finally have that weight lifted off him. He'll have other two laners to really count on, to depend on, to be able to make the plays. And we saw what that did for the test when after Bjergsen came in, he played so phenomenally well. And it might actually happen here with Bjergsen. And that kind of scares me. If he plays better now than he did previously, that's a very scary mid laner.
Well, there is possibly the fittest team in terms of strength, maybe. I don't know, the Polish boys. Meet Your Makers, there are definitely some big lads in there. You wouldn't want to mess around with them if it came to a scrum. But as it stands, it's not going to, because we're not in rugby, we are in League of Legends. It is going to be Ninjas in Pyjamas as the blue team and Meet Your Makers as the red team. Let's see how this one plays out. We're on 3.8 patch, ladies and gentlemen, which does mean we are seeing a Doran's Ring straight away from Sharu on that mid lane, as well as the health pots, because remember, the price has changed, the jungle has changed, all manner of changes. You would have seen it in the North American LCS last week, as well as last night at MLG. Some pretty crazy games happened there. We'll see whether we get the same here in Europe.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of new champions that can be played now in middle lane with the Doran's Ring change, which I'm sure we're going to see later on. I'm not going to spoil it just yet because I got some inside information for some teams, but it definitely widens what you can do. But we do see NiP, they're trying to go for some sort of invade. It looks like they really just want to get a ward down and really try to spot where Mackler and Libik are.
We're seeing Kuban's going to walk straight around the corner, spots immediately Bjergsen, and Maluno quickly reacts to walking away from that one. See, Dimash's standard has been taken by Maluno early on, and the invade is on. They do put the ward in towards that bush. Sharu just around the side there, throws out the charm. They catch on towards Extinct. They're going to bounce him in the air. Can they catch him out? The exhaust is down. One more hit will be enough. There he goes. It's first blood to Kuban.
Libik totally just won that fight right there with that dark wind. He silenced all 5 of them right there, and they're still chasing them down, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do that. But wow, that was just perfect for Libik. That was a great initiation. And NiP, I guess they didn't really kind of expect that, though. It is a Fiddlesticks.
Fantastic start from them. It was Ninjas in Pyjamas that went the aggressor. They did get their wards down, but now their jungle is in trouble. Meet Your Makers coming in towards the blue buff.
But also, take a look at Summoners real quick, because Meet Your Makers committed way more than NiP did. So yeah, they lost first blood, which is a big deal, to be honest, but they still have a lot of Summoners available. So this makes it so if Maluno wants to, he can gank quite a few lanes.
Strange ward placement from Libik there. He wants to get full vision around the corner there. He doesn't put it in the bush. Does look like the blue buff is going to get taken away. You see Deficio sat ready and waiting. He's waiting for Maluno to come over at the red buff. So it's going to be a slower start for him. Makato's going to take it smiteless here as well. so he's going to go straight for his red buff. We'll see whether their blue buff does get stolen away. You can see there's a red ward on there from Meet Your Makers, and we are going to have a 2v1 in the top lane and the bottom lane.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to steal that blue away just yet, but they were able to spot him with that ward, and that was a perfect thing to point out that Maluno, he got late to his red buff, so he's going to be a little bit slower here, and that chance of probably invading and taking away the blue is now gone. But yes, with these 1v2 lanes happening yet again, it should... Actually, let me think about it a little bit just to see which team's actually going to benefit from it too much. But we do see Nefisto actually going for a ward here. So it looks like they're going to go for blue.
Are they going to try and react? Yes, they are. Kubon is coming around through the tri-bush. You can see Makata coming in now as well. He has got his smite still available, and he is going to try and cause some problems. It is only Miluna and Deficio. The AD carry not coming to help just yet. Freeze is sticking in that lane, trying to keep the CS going. And it was looking like Makata that managed to use that smite and steal it off him.
Yeah, so it looked like Freeze actually wanted to push lane very quickly just to deny a lot of CS and a lot of levels away from Kubon. So we'll see how well that's actually going to work out, as they currently are equal at this point. But I'm trying to think which lane will actually benefit quite well, because if you're a Draven, you want a lane you can farm in quite easily. If you fall behind, you kind of stay behind, and your early game presence is really, really strong, as Kubon already sees it popping those health pots right away.
And something that we kind of alluded to at the start is the fact that Xting did stay on Diana. He is taking Diana in that top lane, which means it will be Bjergsen once again on Kennen in the main lane. We saw him playing Kennen before. I think it was in Moscow, I believe.
He's played it twice, I believe.
100% convinced by it, honestly, compared to some of the champions we've seen Bjergsen on.
Yeah, that's the downside of Kennen. So if you get shut down early on, your whole AoE ultimate doing a lot of damage, really being threatening, kind of diminishes. It kind of just disappears. So Bjergsen, hopefully this time, he'll be able to, keep up and farm. We'll be able to do quite well, as Maluno just gonna stick around. The normal, 3:30, 4-minute push just to kind of soak up some experience and make sure Xting can't get pushed out of lane.
You can see there's a big wave there. He was spotted by the ward, so they knew he was coming. There was nothing sneaky about it. You can see, actually, Meet Your Makers have really good presence so far with their wards, keeping an eye on everything that is happening. Let's have a look towards the CS. You can see the AD carries 25 to 23, both in the top and bottom lane. They're still in different lanes, but keeping it very much even between them. The mid lane, it is actually Bjergsen with a slight advantage right now over Charu. Charu has just gone back to buy, got himself a second Doran's ring and a ward. We'll see where he pokes that one out there. We also see Makata, he's making his way down towards his bottom lane. He's got himself that Spirit Stone already, and a pink ward picked up for the jungler. We'll see whether he places that anywhere down that riverway.
Yeah, and that's the thing right now, as you see, Levitt going to put a word there, is that junglers, they haven't really been interactive right now so far. They haven't been able to, get into a lane to gank because of the ward coverage. We do see Makata heading down bottom. He does have that pink ward, like you mentioned, so he might actually try to clear out the vision, as he's actually going to get caged upon.
He's going to get in there. Freeze going very aggressive. Aqua Prison wasn't available to land on him. He just dredge lines away.
Look at that damage, though. That was half his life in 2 hits from Freeze. That just shows you the power of Draven Nami, as he's going to still stick around here. And taking a look, the top laners, quote unquote, are still even in CS.
Let's have a look towards them. We do see Freeze keeping the pressure on. Thorn's shield was picked up by Kubon, along with that regrowth pendant. Actually, Xting getting a piercing arrow coming across from Makta there, keeping the... And in terms of CS, we are starting to see a gap growing here for Freeze in this bottom lane, starting to keep some pressure on. Ironically, him and Bjergsen on exactly the same CS right now.
That's kind of a scary thing right now. If he keeps widening this gap a little bit further, he's applying a lot of pressure to Zac right now, and because of that pressure, he's actually making it so, Xting's not falling too far behind, as he does use his teleport top lane. So Charu, he's the only one that has a teleport available right now. He's going to be level 6 relatively soon, so he might be able to interact with another lane.
Charm being flung out from Charu, but didn't quite land on Bjergsen. That would have caused problems for them. Pink ward actually did get placed in that bottom lane. Xting, though, he's in trouble in his top lane. Makta putting pressure on towards him. Piercing arrow comes across as well. Took a good chunk of his health down, considering he's only just returned to that lane. He's having to chug down that crystalline flask. Bottom lane also, pink ward was replaced. We saw it was Makata that put his pink ward in the bottom bush. Immediately, that has been overwritten by Deficio.
It's a battle of the pink wards. It's going to be going on around, but Maluno, he's going to visit this top lane. He wants to make sure Xting doesn't get pushed out, and just like he said, returned to lane, got knocked down to below half health here, and it's not a good sign for him, but that turret's still very healthy right now.
Pretty much even between the bottom lanes, though. We see the junglers coming in. Makata trying to sneak in towards that, but again, Deficio ready and waiting. And I'm not sure they're in any position to try and create something. I think this is simply Makata trying to relieve some pressure for Kubon.
And this is actually a really cool sign of NiP. So they're being very aggressive bottom, because they want to force Makati to visit there. They want to force him. Oh, we see Char teleporting our top.
Here he comes. He's going to come around the side. We're going to see two people. They've already pushed the wave up. Charm, balls go out there. Hasn't used the charm just yet. Lands it on towards Extinct. There's the exhaust. That's going to be Extinct going down. And that is going to be the second kill for Meet Your Makers. Or will the tower be enough? Yes, it will. Extinct taking Makler down. Complete error there by Meet Your Makers. But they may well try and return kill on towards Maluna, or will they get pressure on it? They're going to go for the tower. But now the fact that Makler's not there, they can't get the turret.
But you do see Freeze and Fischer coming in. If Maluna can make something happen, if he can ult in here, they can do something.
He's going to jump on towards Libic. Libic just out of range of that tower, though. The life drain coming down from Maluno. He's going to just keep him away, and Libic should be able to escape with his life here. He's going to have the Damascus down. The knock-up forces the flash away from Libic, and Charu throwing out the orbs and not quite catching on. But we do see Ninjas in Pyjamas. They rotated that lane.
Yes, they did. So it looks like they want to go up against this AD support combo, but I'm pretty sure they're going to rotate bottom, as we do already see that happening on the mini-map. But like I was mentioning before, NiP was being very aggressive bottom because they wanted to keep Makati there. They wanted to let Bjergsen get this free farm. As you see right now, 21 CS advantage at this point. They want to allow him to get strong, as he's still up about 250 gold at this point, and that's what they needed to do. As long as Bjergsen gets strong, as long as he's not getting camped, he's going to be very, very hard to deal with.
So Kubon changing and replacing Charu in that top lane. Charu will, of course, head back down towards that mid, but as you mentioned, he's missed out on so much CS. He didn't get the assist. He didn't get the kill, though. But let's have a look what items are coming out. We see the BF sword for Freeze. He would have gone for that full aggression. Bjergsen actually catching on to Charu as he passes by that ward just by the Wraiths. Meanwhile, actually looking at Makler, he went for the Bilgewater Cutlass, going to get towards that Runic as Blade of the Rune King, Runic Bulwark. I've said it so many times. I said it in Moscow. It's Blade of the Rune King that he's going for.
And it's gonna be a very good item. It gets that little bit of speed that he's gonna need against Bjergsen to keep away from. Not to mention Extinct, who is actually going pretty much tank at this point. He has that Negatron Cloak. Looks like he will go for the Abyssal Scepter here relatively soon. But we do see actually the AD carry supports, they're going to meet up here bottom lane, and Extinct's finally going to get that freedom, as well as Kubon to go for something.
Well, Charu's going to get engaged on a Barney. He's going to get slid. His stun comes down, and just like that, Charu goes down. Bjergsen beautifully played here. Maluna, of course, mixing in. That does mean the blue buff's in all sorts of trouble. And honestly, that bottom lane, that's going to get engaged upon as well. We see Makler trying to back away from this one. Libic's going to get caught out. There's spinning axes doing damage. Chain of Corruption, though, back on towards him. Freeze. Will they have enough to catch on towards him? Will Deficio better save him? Throws out the heal. And just like that, he gets away with it. Now that progression turned back on towards him, Freeze is just going to lifesteal himself up. Blue buff was also taken away. And now we're seeing Ninja Pyjamas. They're pushing on towards the bottom turret.
What a perfect job by NiP right there between Bjergsen and Maluna to combo that in there and go for that kill. They got the stun perfectly on Charu right as he was trying to escape, and the knockup, so there's no way that was going to happen. And now it looks like NiP, they're going to take the first turret of the game.
Pressure completely being applied by Ninjas in Pyjamas, and how many times have we seen this? Meet Your Makers, they struggle. If they do not get that first tower first, they are in trouble, and we'll see how they react to this one. We do see Deficio coming around, putting down that pink ward, trying to take away everything, every bit of vision that Meet Your Makers have. And we do see Freeze. One more hit will be enough for the turret. Makler's going to get caught out, slides in, but the fear comes out straight away on Maluna. Maluna now in trouble. Mercator trying to get in towards him. Does manage to land the dredge line. Makler keeping the pressure down, but there's the big wave being surfed out by Deficio, and everybody will back away from this one. We see Charu, though. He's heading down the river. Will they catch on towards him? Nautilus throwing his ultimate towards Maluna. Charu has got his ultimate available if he wants to dive in. Flashes in. I tell a lie, he hasn't, which why he flashed, tried to land the charm, wasn't enough. Nothing being picked up by Meet Your Makers here.
And if you remember back to what Meet Your Makers does in all their games, they like to put a lot of aggressive wards into the enemy jungle. But right now, because NiP got that bottom turret, they're able to ward up the enemy jungle here and really apply this pressure. Bjergsen's been left alone middle lane. His CS difference is getting even further, and he has a nice large rod right now.
While this is happening, Charu going to get caught out again there. Throws out the charm towards Bjergsen. Doesn't pull him in enough. What I was about to call is the top lane. Extinct actually falling behind in Kubon as they've had that one-on-one period for some time up there. It is just back to a 10 CS, but that's going to stretch again as Kubon seems to start to bully out Extinct here. Extinct just going back to buy.
To be honest, it's worth it. Maluna is not visiting Extinct right now to help him out. He didn't. The only time he visited the lane was just to help him out, make sure he didn't get pushed out of lane right away. But they're like, you know what? Leave Extinct on an island. They've done that before with Godbro when he gets ahead. And then just help Bjergsen, help Freeze get ahead, which currently they're at right now. And they're going to be so strong even if Extinct doesn't get that early CS advantage.
We see Bjergsen back in that mid lane with that blue buff, throwing those shurikens at Charu. Still not landing. We've seen Charu so impressive on Na'Vi right now. Maluno is looking to try and come around the side. He's making sure he clears out them minions as quick as possible. And Maluno realized that and straight away backs off.
But look at the ward coverage, though. It's very spot on. Now, Bjergsen, he won't get ganked for pretty much any lane at this point, or any side, because of the coverage that he has. And that allows Freeze and Deficio to push up bottom lane if they want to. He's releasing the top lane yet again. Kuban, he's like a brick wall right now. He's not being pushed out. Extinct is having a tough time as he's backing away from lanes more than actually sitting in them.
In terms of CS, Bjergsen's built up such a big advantage. The fact he's got that needlessly large rod, he's doing damage. 112 to 82, 30 CS gap already. Charu been trying to create those plays with that teleport. As of yet, not too successful. Did manage to get one up the top lane, but it looks like Meteor Makers are trying to set up with the Dragon here, Jason.
Yeah, this is really interesting because NiP in the entirety of the summer split of LCS have only gotten 5 Dragons. They've given up 24, and this might be the 25th.
You can see them putting pressure on there. Not really anything happening. It is the top lane going down as well to Kuban, so 2 big advantages. Oh, Maluno trying to see if he can steal it with the Dragon Strike. We see Bjergsen also catching in towards that Aqua Prison on towards Makati. Just slid away. We do see Livik also throwing out his Crow Storm. Is it going to be enough? Makla taking very low. He's going to get dropped. The wave's going to come through. That catches on towards Charu. There's going to be the spinning blades as well, but Livik looks like he's going to escape this one with his life. That was 2 kills for Ninjas and Pyjamas, and it looks like they're going to steal away that Dragon.
And you have to give NiP credit. Not, I don't want to speak too soon, but they never contested Dragon in the summer split of LCS, but there they finally did. They felt comfortable doing it, and they're going to pick up the first Dragon in the game, and it takes them finally to 6th the entirety of LCS, which is honestly not that good at this point. It's actually the lowest amount.
Well, 2.8k gold. They're going to turn to see if they can push for their second turret of the game in the mid lane. 5 members there. Extinct is going to be taking away the blue buff as well. He's got a giant wave of creeps he's going to deal with on that top lane, so it means that there's going to be 4 members of Meteor Makers trying to defend this mid one, but you can see the turret already very low. Ninjas and Pyjamas are going to just go for this one. Cataclysm comes out, jumping on towards Livik, and Maluno having to jump away from that one. He's caught out very, very deep there. There's going to be a Makata catching on towards him. Kuban will pick up the kill, and a bit of a mistake suddenly made by Ninjas and Pyjamas. Very aggressive play from Maluno.
And that might have been the synergy we were talking about early on, that little bit of lack of it, or might be coming short, is that Maluno went in when the rest of the team wanted to back away. The turret was so low on health, they weren't able to get it, and now Meteor Makers, they're going to go for a pusher on this turret, and they should be able to get it, to be honest.
Well, they don't have their AD carry
teleport
with
behind
them
him
at
from
the moment.
Extinct.
Makla's there, the teleport is coming in from Extinct. He's just picked up the blue buff, let's see where it goes, but the charm lands straight away. Unfortunately, the dredge line's not going to land in there. Freeze manages to take down Makata. Extinct tries to pull in Livik. He should have enough to finish him off. Bjergsen's going to come in. He throws the shuriken, picks up the kill, and just like that, another 2 kills for Ninjas and Pyjamas.
And look where their kill spread is right now, Demon. That is very scary. So you have all the kills minus the one on Deficio to your carries at this point. Bjergsen's 3-0-2, and we've seen it past how many times how strong you can be, but they're still going for the turret. They do get it, and Bjergsen actually took a lot of damage for that.
Aqua Prison on Kuban there, but Kuban ready to launch himself away from that. I was just thinking, Meteor Makers, why are they being so defensive on a turret that's going to go down in 1 hit? And they do manage to escape with their lives, though. So we see everyone from Ninjas and Pyjamas, they're going to go back to buy. We'll see what items start popping in, Jason.
See, I want to see what this whole last week of practice has done for Meteor Makers. In particular, when they fall behind, how do they come back? That's one of the things that teams have the hardest doing besides closing out games, like, the 2 opposites. And so far, they're trying to defend some objectives. They're trying to play like this is a normal scrim for them, which a lot of teams didn't do. Like, Alta and MYM are the only teams to do it at this point, where they realize it's an LCS game, but they don't play super differently than they do from a scrim, where they might play a little bit more safe sometimes, which we saw yesterday in the NA LCS at MLG, just how being aggressive and how being ballsy can really help you win.
We do see aggression coming out from Ninjas and Pyjamas. Kuban is backing off. I think Extinct may well let him go. Instead, they probably could take the turret down here, the 2 combined. Diana going in. And it does mean that the mid lane has been left exposed for a short period. We've seen Freeze is going to cover that one off. We'll see if Ninja Pyjamas do manage to take down this turret. Easy for me to say. I don't know where those Pyjamas, maybe I went all American for a moment there. But and we do see Freeze, he should be able to defend out this mid lane. Though there is 3 members of Meteor Makers, it's starting to get a little bit dangerous once Makata shows himself up, but he's just not been as effective on Nautilus here as he has been on Shen. And you think, oh, and he's in trouble. He's going to dredge line the hell away from there. Bjergsen still may be able to catch the stun down here. I think he should be able to walk away from it.
Yeah, and Makata not being effective is all due to how NiP played that bottom lane by being very aggressive, forcing to be down there. Charu should be able to get this this turret here, or at least get on the next wave. He does have teleport available, so he could get in middle. He actually could teleport behind him at the Wraith Camp if he wanted to, coming from behind and make some sort of play happen. But NiP, they're grouping up here middle. They want that turret.
And they've got to be careful because Kuban's going to be launching himself from that side as well. Piercing arrow and hail of arrows clearing out the wave. Makler having no problem, just bringing the free farm to him effectively, which has actually got him back into it. He was falling behind in terms of CS to freeze, but definitely got himself back in the action. Charu may well be able to take down this bottom turret. You can see he's been down here for a long period of time, yeah. And he will take it. Freeze not really wanting a piece of that. Leaves it to the minions, and that actually does take the turrets all square at 2-2. MYM now going to stack up on their mid turret. The ping's already coming down. Deficio's like, hey guys, kind of need help here. I'm not too sure whether you guys have reacted to this one, but Makler, he's saying, nah, I'm going to go back and buy.
Yeah, luckily for them, they went back and bought. But Charu, like, the whole idea of him going down bottom is he has teleport available and Extinct doesn't. So they took advantage of that in every way they possibly could. They got a turret off of that, but Extinct's teleport will be up relatively soon, and I don't think NiP will let in their turret go like that.
So let's have a look across the board. Look at the CS though. The big difference, Bjergsen and Charu, it's equal again. They've managed to pull it back because Charu's been off on that side lane splitting away, so maybe they have started to counter exactly what they need to do. AD carries very much even. Top lane is actually in favor of Kubon because he's been up there for some period of time, did take down that turret. Junglers though, it is all on Maluna. He's been helping, assisting across the map. But in terms of items, what are we looking towards here? You talked about MYM being an early game team. They're needing to get some early kills, but honestly, it looks like they're heading for the late game, and it may well work for them.
I see something in particular on NiP side, but let's talk about MYM first, because they have, obviously, the Blade of the Rune King, which we talked about earlier, just to be able to escape, be able to get away. Kubon's going straight tank, because he was put behind in lane relatively early on, so he's pretty much forced into that role, as Makata's kind of doing the same. There is one GP10 on Deficio, as they're actually trying to go for Libic here. They might be able to pick up the kill if they get the stun. But he does at least force the flash, which is good because of his ultimate. But Deficio does have one GP10, so he's going to be able to pick up some more wards, pick up maybe some items later on. Charu pushing bottom, but one thing, I should get back to it really in a little bit, because NiP, they're pushing this turret, Charu's still pushing bottom.
Well, Kubon's about to come across from the side. If they were to engage, Extinct, oh, he landed on towards Libic there. Look at that, Charu continuing to push. Cleverly, he's going to teleport in. This is going to be an engage. Kubon goes in. Let's bounce coming out. Bjergsen caught very much deep there. And then straight away on towards Maluna. Maluna went aggressive, but the rest of the team weren't really on the same wavelength. He's going to go down. Charu comes in. He rips, frees a new one. And straight away, just like that, it was a 3-for-0. MYM is going to push down the mid.
And it seems like the missed calls are there. Everyone not having the same mind of exactly where to go. It looks like they're actually going to go for Baron here, which they probably could take. Extinct and Deficio are the only ones alive here to really stop it. And I don't really think they could at this point.
Well, Kubon going very deep. He's going to tank it up for a while. Makata's going to get closer. He's the one that's going to be tanking up. We'll see whether they do go for Extinct, and Deficio are coming in from this one. No ultimates available. Extinct does have his. Maybe he can land the move ball, but not when the charm goes straight in there. He tries to go aggressive. Is he going to cause a problem? He's going to get Makata down. It's actually Deficio that picks up the kill, but that's going to cause problems. The Baron could pick up some kills here. It's going to be Makler. He gets into tank it just close enough. Libic trying to life drain it. Deficio coming back in. Could he throw the Aqua Prism out? Will it be enough? He gets one down, but there's the Baron kill. Now Deficio, he can pick up another kill on Makler here. If he can just get one more damage down, forces the flash straight out. And here comes Maluna. Makler's in trouble. He goes down. So the Baron effectively uses there, and Meteor Makers lose 3 members just to a support and a jungler.
Wow, that was just so well done by Deficio and Extinct right there. I mean, Extinct, he went in, he pulled them together, and he realized this is a very early Baron. 20 minutes in, he knows that Mutual Makers is not that tanky to deal with it. So NiP, they got Baron buff away from 3 people. They're going to get a middle inner turret off this as well. So in the end, they're going to come out ahead.
You've got to wonder why they didn't just go straight down the mid lane. Bad call being made there. And Meteor Makers, well, they should have gone for that mid turret, should have just taken the advantages across the map and started to set themselves across. Of course, it's easy for us to say that as we sit here watching it with everything visible. Ninjas in Pyjamas, though, they're picking up another dragon. Meteor Makers coming in there, but they are too late. It's already gone down, and that gold lead is continuing to be in the favor of Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Okay, so NiP, they're doing a lot better job now of actually trying to take the dragons over and over. They realize that they don't take it too much. In the meantime, MYM, they have them out of position. They're going to get this middle turret off of that. And now that we have... Oh, no, Maluna actually going to get caught here.
Maluna walking straight into Makata in the bush there. Straight face check. It's going to be Meteor Makers, as you said, taking that mid turret. That's going to take it to 3-3. But more importantly, in the mid turret of Meteor Makers is down. Gold, just 1,000 between the two. Not too much of a big advantage. Kubon is heading off towards that top. And honestly, he's starting to become a tanky presence.
Yeah, he's 2-0-4. So the Spirit Visage mixed in with the Sunfire Cape is going to be really hard to kind of deal with. But luckily for them, there's something I wanted to point out earlier on NiP's items that I'm not going to be able to get to here, but he's taking Kubon going head to head.
Well, Extinct is going in for Kubon, but I don't think he's really going to be able to do a lot about it. It's more of a love tap, I think, than anything else. We did also see blue buff being picked up by Charo, and I think, if memory serves, that's one of the first blue buffs he's been able to get. Looks like Ninjas in Pyjamas going aggressive in this top lane, though.
It looks like they really want it here. Extinct does have teleport available, though he's already there. Makade is the only one here to really help out, so this is a 3-man dive. Looks like they might try to go for a kill here.
Well, they're going to go in towards Makade. They could be able to stun him up. There's the slicing maelstrom. He will go down. It's going to be Extinct that manages to get the kill on Makade there. And we also saw, I think, did he get the assist for that one? No, he didn't. I think he was trying freeze from long range to get the assist. Doesn't matter, Ninjas in Pyjamas take another turret.
Okay, and now it looks like we have a calm moment here. Something I wanted to point on NiP's side. Look at the items that Extinct and Bjergsen are currently running. The Abyssal Scepter, we mentioned a lot earlier on in the game, is really a key item for Extinct and for Bjergsen in particular, because a Kennen, like, you need Azonias, but you also need a lot of penetration items to really help out, really get your damage going. So they are both forced to go Merc Treads to deal with the Fiddlestick Sphere, to deal with the Charm, and not to mention the stuns that obviously the team can put out, but the synergy between the Abyssal Scepter and the Haunting Guys on Bjergsen, it just kind of powers him up a little bit. You know, even more. It makes him do a lot more damage, which that's really where they're focused around. And even Extinct, he's going into the back line. He's trying to make them fear him so the rest of the team can do the damage. But in the meantime, Michi Makers, they're 4-man pushing top. Makade's not there, which honestly is a really key member to how this fight's going to go.
Oh, Libic thrown out. Chain of Corruption landing towards Maluna, but he slides straight away. There's going to be the wave thrown out from Deficio. That's an ult to use, though. Will that give Minyo Makers the impetus to keep pushing on towards his turret? Maluna wants to be aggressive. Bjergsen doesn't have Slicing Maelstrom available. Charo just around the side. There's a teleport coming in. It's going to be Extinct. Goes aggressive on towards Charo. Charo caught out here. Has to use the ultimate to try and back away from this one. Meanwhile, the rest of Meteor Maker's engaged on in the top lane as well. Flash comes out from Freeze. Going full on aggression. Libic's going to get caught out. He's going to go down. Extinct flashes in towards that one. Kubon just launches himself away. While this is all happening, Charo, he's teleported away to the bottom lane and is just going to keep on clearing those waves. So while that happens, it was a kill for Ninjas in Pyjamas, but nothing really gained from either team.
Actually, if anything, I think NiP lost in the end because of that. Because look right now at the farm difference between the mid laners. Bjergsen was ahead about 40 CS like 5-10 minutes ago. Now he's behind about 50 CS at this point. And that's because Charo's been using his teleport. He's been farming up. And Bjergsen, he hasn't been able to farm anymore. Pretty much the entirety of NiP hasn't because they've been grouping. They've been wanting to cause these team fights, really make them happen, but they haven't been able to.
Kubon wipes the sweat from his brow as the match builds up. 12-7 in kills so far, 24 minutes gone, and still just 2,000 gold between these teams. Very, very tight stuff right now. And lots of summoner spells, actually, and ultimates were burnt in that last exchange. We'll see whether Charo goes aggressive on towards Maluno here. His ultimate will be up in a few seconds. He does manage to land the charm on towards Freeze. Also puts the Deathfire Grasp down. Will it be enough? The Aqua Prison catching beautifully from Deficio there, and that buys Freeze the time. Libic tries to get in towards this one, but he's not in no party mode. Maluno gets in there, and Freeze takes him down.
Wow, Deficio, that was amazing. Aqua Prison right there saved his 80 carry's life, was able to turn into a 2-for-0, and honestly, it might turn into an inhibitor turret, and maybe even an inhibitor off of this.
Well, we'll see. They're going to push in. It's going to be 5v3. And Ninjas in Pyjamas are slowly building up all their aggression. Lots of ultimates available for Ninjas in Pyjamas if they were to dive in here. We've already seen Maluno going aggressive and landing that Cataclysm early on. This time around, he has got the rest of the team to back him up, and that is indeed going to be the first inhibitor of the game for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Okay, I gotta point this out, because I'm the stat man now, or at least I'm gonna claim I'm gonna be the stat man now. The team that takes the first inhibitor in the entirety of the spring split and the summer split together wins, or 93% of the time they'll win. So that's a big number to go up against. It's really hard for teams to come back against this, but NiP, what they're gonna do after this, I'm pretty sure, is they're going to push out the lanes because Baron's going to be up soon. They want to go for that Baron, let that middle lane push in against Meteor Makers, and then either cause a fight or just get a free Baron off of it.
We'll see how it works out. 1 minute on that Baron, 1 minute on the Dragon. Pink ward going down. Meteor Makers trying to just push out, trying to cause something. They actually see Extinct in the bottom lane, and actually it's Charo heading straight down towards him. We do see also Libic trying to collapse around the sides, but I think Charo is more interested in farming out that giant wave of creeps. And Libic did go down, put that ward down. So it looks like Charo wants to continue that split push down that bottom lane, try and keep all the pressure on them, but it seems to be backfiring every time he does it.
Yeah, I think Extinct can actually 1v1 them quite well right now. So if he goes down bottom lane, you have both teleports there, and that pink ward that Libic put down at Dragon's actually makes me very curious, is because Baron's going to be up soon in about 30 seconds, and it looks like they want to set up for Dragon and not Baron.
Yeah, just not quite going as adventurous this time around. They already realized that Baron didn't work out so well for them. Extinct is just off the side there, but they do know that Charo is hanging around. The rest of the team are trying to collapse around. A lot of vision in that red buff area, though, so Meteor Makers have good clearance. They know that the fact that you can see Maluno, Deficio, and Freeze all collapsing towards him.
Okay, so if you look at Bjergsen's boots, he actually got Distortion Enchantment. So that means he's pretty much, him and Maluno are pretty much the big engage for their team. He wants that flash off cooldown as much as possible to make these fights happen. And Dragon right now, I mean, whoever picks it up, it honestly isn't a big lead for them.
Well,
so
it
it's
looks
honestly
like they
not
want
really
to fight
worth
for it.
And that's the weird thing is this is not an objective that you want to fight for. Baron is available right now. Leave Meteor Makers there. Go top. Go get that that Baron off of them, and you can really just shut them down. Charo, he's waiting on the sidelines. He's in that tri-bush. He wants to really flank them and come from behind, but NiP's not going to let it happen. They're just going to force him by pushing middle.
Exactly. They've got super minions going up the middle. They're just like, well, fine. If you really want this dragon, then you can have it, because we are going to go straight for your base, try and push you away. They're going to rotate towards that top lane turret. You can see the creep wave already there. Meteor Makers, they're pinging on it, but honestly, they're just well out of spot, and they tried to get that dragon. They tried to force it out. Ninja Pyjamas, too clever for them. Going to see if they can pick up a kill here. Libic does put that ward down, spots the entire army of Ninjas in Pyjamas. It's an army now, I don't know, 5 men. Does that equate for an army? It's a platoon, I guess, maybe.
It's a sleepover, because they're in pajamas. Sorry. That was pretty bad. But either way, they're going to be going for this turret here. And they're not actually, see, they're not committing to it. And this is the whole style of playing in LCS versus scrims, where they're going to play a lot more passive, a lot more safe in LCS, which, honestly, that's been what's making Alternate and Meteor Makers and even the teams in North America like Cloud9 so strong. And Baron is actually going to be started here. Deficio, he does have an Oracle, and Meteor Makers has no vision of this.
This is what you were talking about. So what you were saying, why didn't they put any wards down here? Not a single ward anywhere near the Baron. Ninja Pyjamas are going to pick this one up for free, and Meteor Makers not even remotely close. Makata's kind of lumbering his way down there, but he is too late to the party. Ninja Pyjamas already have it, and they're going straight right back around that top. They may well find Makata straight away. Yes, they will. He is dead. There's no way he's going to dredge line away from that one. Flashes as well. You can see the chain of corruption brilliantly from Makler there. Does manage to catch the entire team. Flashed out of it. Maluno with that cataclysm. They do manage to escape, but this is a 5-man Ninja Pyjamas Baron up team, while Sharu continues to split push bottom.
I honestly don't even need to talk about what the chance of winning when you have Baron and Inhibitor down for a team, but having Maluno flash in and Cataclysm on Makler force his flash. That means he won't be able to escape away from Bjergsen if he gets on top of him, which is honestly huge. He's a big damage dealer along with Charo at this point, who is still trying to make the split push happen, but right now, if you lose another Inhibitor turret and an Inhibitor off of this, it's not going to be worth it. He's still sitting bottom right now. He's teleporting in.
He's teleporting in. There's going to be the Crow Storm, but not really landing, and Libic just gets shut down straight away. Now Makler does get caught in. Straight away stunned, as you mentioned, doesn't have flash, no way out of it. Meteor Makers are just melting to the slicing maelstrom of Bjergsen. Another stun going on towards Kubon. Everybody from Ninjas in Pyjamas, they don't care about the top lane. They're going straight for the Nexus turrets, and this is going to be the game for Ninjas in Pyjamas. Fantastic stuff. The new lineup looking very good here against Meteor Makers. The third place team in the LCS are suddenly sinking to Ninjas in Pyjamas.
You really got to give NiP credit right there to come in with 3 new members on your team, to be able to take the game to 29, 30 minutes in. Obviously, it's not super late, but to have these team fights happen, to have to make your synergy that you've had only a week to work on to actually work for you well, it's very hard to do, and that's kind of scary to how strong they're actually going to get throughout the season.
Fantastic, fantastic performance, and you can see them on the screens. It is a very happy Ninjas in Pyjamas. Lots of new faces in there, and there was a lot of questions, honestly, to the management of Ninjas in Pyjamas about these changes. A lot of the fans were a little bit upset with the drastic changes that did happen to the team, but it seems to have worked as they take down Meteor Makers, who honestly, in week 1 looked unstoppable. Only Alternate were allowed easily to get in their faces. Nobody else could get near them. They were swept aside, but NiP, they seem to be looking ready to fight.
Yes, they do. And I mean, Meteor Makers, you pretty much pointed out perfectly. They were looked unstoppable in the first week, but now they're starting to lose a lot of more games, and you have to look back on it. Is it their fault? Is it the other team just outplaying them? I mean, maybe they need to work on something in particular, which we always mention, their early game. If they take the first turret, they have a higher chance of winning. They like the control, but when you take that away from them, what do they have? And that might come down to them working on their late game.
Absolutely fantastic stuff. So, NiP, that takes them to where in the league? That's the question.
7th. They actually ahead of SK now. Actually, no, I believe they're still
No, they
there.
will be. No, of course they will be, because they were both on 2 and 6, so they're going to be on 3 and 6 now, and that actually takes Meteor Makers to 5 and 4, but mid-table stuff. And this is the problem we talked about. We had the same issue with Lemon Dogs, who will be coming up next against Fnatic, of course, how they deal with the losses when they start coming, because this is the first time Meteor Makers have lost to anyone outside of the top 2.
Yeah, so you have to keep in mind, so the newer teams that came in, the 3 new teams, they had months to prepare for this. Well, they at least had a month, I'll say that. They have had months before, obviously some time before it, but now it's pretty much you have to adapt your strategies week per week. And that is really hard to do for teams. You know, you kind of need the people to look at the matches, how they went, look how the matches went for the other team that you're going to be playing against went the previous week. And not to mention, we're on 3.8, so it's honestly a drastic change.
Well, hopefully in a moment we're going to be able to get a replay for you guys from that game. Trevor's going to be standing by in just a few moments. We'll go to that in a second. It's going to be a new fancy desk, of course. Hopefully, I haven't heard word, but I believe he is ready. So we're going to go over to Trevor at our beautiful new screen.
Thank you for that one, D-Man and Jason. It was an awesome game to watch, and another victory for NiP, so slowly trying to claw themselves back up the ladder. It seems as though the new composition is really working in their favor. I have to give props to Deficio and his Nami play, because those Aqua Prisons, bubble after bubble after bubble, simply caught everybody off guard. But there is still some flaws and some chinks in the NiP armor, and the replay that we're about to show you is actually going to demonstrate that. So let's pull the replay up on screen. It takes place at about 18 minutes 30 on the clock. You can see that the Ninjas in Pyjamas are trying to siege up this middle lane here. So we'll run this at normal speed for the time being. In a couple of moments' time, MYM are actually going to jump into this engagement. You can see MYM's Charu's down on the bottom lane. He begins to teleport. Keep an eye on your mini-map. And MYM are just simply clustered together as a unit. So when they pick a target, they immediately blow up Bjergsen. They then focus Maluno. And with Charu coming in very, very late from behind with that teleport, he's just able to completely clean house. The problem here for MYM is that they didn't stop there. They didn't simply go, right, this is fine. They went to the magnet, the noob magnet that is Baron. When you're in a advantageous position, you need to be in a very advantageous position to take this safely. And you'll see now that this actually didn't happen. On the minimap, you can see both Diana and Nami. They're coming up from the bottom to actually challenge in the top lane. And even though Extinct gets caught by a charm, another Aqua Prison locks up both Nautilus and Uri. The CC that can come down from Nautilus is just completely mitigated. They do eventually pick up Baron, but the amount of time that it's taken has allowed Deficio and the rest of the members of Ninjas in Pyjamas to actually close in. So they got the buff, they won a team fight, they ended up losing 3 of their own team members, and they simply weren't able to capitalize on that advantageous play. So they clawed themselves back into the game, but it was just too little, too late, I'm afraid. That wraps it up for the replay here between NiP and Mutual Makers. And simply put, it's great to see the Ninjas in Pyjamas back on form, back in a position where they're picking up victories. So I believe that Deficio is sitting on our very new interview caster couch, and I think Shox will have a few words with him.
Absolutely.